Hey, fight fans, welcome back to Carlo Peruzza MMA. Today, I got one of my favorite guests. He's back on here, and he made one heck of a UFC debut a little earlier this past month. Debuted Saudi Arabia, took on Lucas the Lion Alexander. Went out of there with a big performance of the night, fight of the night, second round finish. Bogdy, how are you doing, my friend?
Hey, Carlo, my friend. Thank you very much for having me again on your show. I'm very good. I feel amazing. Now I can relax a little bit.
Absolutely. So I'm going to watch that Saudi Arabia card. As you watch the prelims, I saw your fight against Lucas Alexander. And, going into it, that's the one I had circled. I knew it was going to be action-packed for as long as it lasted. And you were able to finish him there in that second round. You were able to get on top of him, mount yourself, and then, finish him off with the strikes. Walk me through the final sequencing, the final moments of that contest.
So the final sequence was 35 strikes until the ref stepped in. But maybe the half of them was on his guard. Uh, and I was hitting him, but not with full blast. I was reserving my energy because I didn't know if I will finish him or not. And after 15 shots, my coaches said, okay, the ref is gonna step in, hit him. And this is the moment where I start to go full blast. And then 10 seconds later, the ref stepped in and it was over.
In that first round, looks like you made a little bit of a mistake there, got yourself taken down. What was going through your head? When you ran into a little bit of adversity, what was going through your head there?
Not much, because we had the game plan. The game plan was don't strike with him. We knew he has over 100 kickboxing fights. We knew he's an elite striker. So the game plan was just follow him, put pressure on him with the high guard. This and that. Ramon Decker, boom. Don't strike back because you could get caught. And that's what I've done. Um, and I tried to take him down at the beginning, made a mistake by not stepping back with my back foot when I applied the around the pipes heel leg takedown. So I landed on my back, and then I had to to work from there. We went back standing. Then he landed some good combinations. There we could really see his level, but that didn't move me. I knew if he's not gonna knock me out in a couple of minutes, everything is gonna look different. And I stayed calm. Then after the first round in the break, I say to my coaches, "I'm good. I'm not tired." They told me what we do now. I went back in, did it, and then we got the finish.
Yeah, I think one thing that makes you really, really dominant in fights is your cardio. I mean, you can go you can go more than 5 rounds. I mean, when you're on, you're on. Has that always been something that's come natural to you?
Yeah, I think that's because or thanks to my training style. I never stopped training. I stopped after the fight for 1 week, maybe. When I say I stop, I mean I don't train hard. I'm on Monday. I was back in the gym and I was on the bike, stretching, but just slowly. And the second week I started again with normal combat training. So I have 4 weeks of slow training the whole year, 4 to 6 weeks, and the other time I'm training like a professional. I look exactly what I put on the table, on my macronutrients, on my sleep, and there are no other activities than those who brings me forward to my goal.
Following the contest, some big news. You guys got fight of the night. You guys got the performance bonus. Where were you? Who told you that you were getting the bonus?
That was amazing. We were in the car. We just leave the area, and UFC wrote me on Instagram, and I saw that. They asked me, "Are you still here, Bogdan?" I said, "No, I'm in a parking lot. We are leaving, but if you need me, I'm coming." No, I just need one of your coaches. And my manager was with me, Luca Messina. And I told him, "Okay, you can talk to my manager." "Okay, yeah, but don't worry, there is nothing bad." And I was like, "Okay." I thought about this after I finished. Look, I was like saying to my coaches, "Do you think there is a bonus for me?" And they said, let's see how the other fights will be, because there were big names on the card. And my manager stepped out of the car. He talked to UFC and started the camera. I think you saw the video on Instagram. If if the people that are watching our interview now didn't saw that, they can watch it on my Instagram account, Bogdan Grad UFC. Uh, and I rolled the window down, and I was like, "Why are you filming me?" I looked at him a little bit joking. I was not angry or something, but I was like, "What's up? Why are you filming me?" And then he said, "Bogdan, you got the bonus." And I was, "No, you are joking." And I couldn't believe it. I was so fucking happy.
It's kind of crazy. We talked before you got on the Contender Series about 7 or 8 months ago. It went from, if I lose this next fight, I'm going to retire, to making it into the UFC, to winning a $50,000 bonus, and to really planning yourself and one of the big forces and upcoming guys in the division. Would you have envisioned this if I told you this 1 year ago, would you envision this?
Yes, I envisioned everything what happens now, and I always said this is what I think is gonna happen. But I was I was in the reality, and I said this is what I think is gonna happen, but there is the possibility that it's not gonna happen, and it's gonna happen completely the opposite, completely worse, and everything is gonna be over. It could have been. So yes, I envisioned it. I believed in myself that I'm gonna uh, get here, but I was not completely sure. I had a question.
So on that Saudi Arabia card, just like yourself, a bunch of very high level mixed martial artists were on there. Obviously, Imavov and Israel Adesanya and Shara Bullet and MVP and a bunch of names. What was it like being around all those guys? What was it like doing press conferences? What was it like doing the whole fight week?
It's a cool feeling, but I don't want to be arrogant. But it's not important for me. The only thing what's important for me is what I do. And what I do for me and for the UFC. That means my interviews, my whole media stuff, my fight, and my communication with the UFC. That's what really matters. And of course, when I saw Adesanya, I was like, "Hey, nice, that's a good moment for my life, and I'm gonna remember this until my dying breath." But I didn't went there and said, "Hey, can I take a picture?" I'm not like that. I go my own way, and I respect every human being. Doesn't matter if they are popular or not, have money or not, are champions or not. If you are a human being or an animal or whatever, and you have a life, I respect you the same.
One thing I think a lot of fighters struggle with is not being able to identify that mixed martial arts, while it's a passion, it's a love, this is very much a business. And I think you see it
Of course.
in all aspects, even on the regional scene. Who you're going to fight is going to lead you to the big shows. Who you do
Exactly.
interviews with, what do you post on Instagram, sponsors, management, what you wear, all these different things are business decisions. Is this something, when did you really start seeing this as a business?
I had the luck of getting into the team I am right now, the Ettel Bros team. Gerhard and Michael Ettel at Champion Sports Center in Graz. And they are MMA pioneers here in Austria. Their first event was 25 years ago. Before that, they were fighters. They fought in Russia. They are also businessmen. And we are like a family. And they always explained me how things on the highest level work. And that was my privilege. I learned from them at the beginning of my career. I knew that performance, yes, is the number one, but everything else, it's very important how you sell yourself. And thanks to them, I was prepared for what I had the honor and I could live right now, a couple of weeks ago.
I think one of the really byproducts of this whole business area is how entertainment driven, how personality driven MMA is. So you see fighters, they pretend to be people they're not. They talk all this stuff. They act in a certain way because they know it's going to give them a title shot. They're going to get bigger opponents. They're going to get more money, more Instagram followers. How do you feel that personality and entertainment has affected mixed martial arts?
It made fighters show what they are not, and because of that, they had difficulties after that, because people are gonna see who you really are, and if you sell yourself as somebody else, it's not gonna last. And people love to see, I don't find the right word, but people love to see original character, a real character, how you are for real. And if you are like that, even if you're not that interesting, if you are real, people are gonna watch you and they're gonna like you. And if you are able to train at this level for this many years to get into the UFC, I don't think that there are many guys that are not interesting somehow when they are themselves. So they should be themselves 100% and don't try to be something else. That's my point.
Because of how entertainment driven, how personality driven mixed martial arts is, we have a new concept. It's called the casual fan. So these are the fans, they usually get really drunk. They like to yell at the fights. They like to say, like, twist them. And they like to boo when guys are doing jiu-jitsu. They don't really understand. They think they can fight the fighters. I'm sure you've been around these people in the past. Overall, what do you think of the casual fan?
I think they are important. Every fan that is watching us and supporting us in whatever way it is important. We don't have to live with them together. So, as we talked before, there is also, and not also, there is a business here. On this level, in the UFC, there is much more business than before. So that means as many people as possible buy UFC Fight Pass for you from your country, as better it is for you as a fighter. So thank you to the casual fans.
What has the reaction been like from the people in Austria since your last fight? Are you getting recognized a lot now?
Yes. The people in Austria are amazing here. I really enjoy it. Yesterday, I was at a China restaurant with a friend of mine, and the people came to me, "Hey, Bogdi, can I please take a picture with you?" Of course, come, let's take a picture. It's a great feeling. And what I really like is, I like to make people happy. That was also a big motivation for me to get. I mean, I'm not famous right now. I'm on the way to this, but that's also a motivation for me to get famous and to have an impact. Now I have a little bit more impact than 1 year ago, and that's good. And a lot of young people are writing me on Instagram, 13, 14, 15-year-old that are training themselves and want to be a fighter, to get into the UFC, whatever. And I have over 500 messages that I didn't answer, but I'm reading everything. And where I see there is a little kid that is writing me, "Hey, Bogdi, oh, I'm a big fan, and I please just could you send me a video and say hello and all the best for my next fight or whatever." And those are the comments that I'm answering first because I love to make them happy, and the young kids are they are so pure, and when I see them happy, they are like, "Wow, I didn't even thought you're gonna answer my message, and you sent me a video right now," and they are over it, and that makes me really happy.
The last time we interviewed before you fought Lucas, I think you were in the car. You were on the way to an MMA event over in Austria. Are you still doing reffing? Is that something you're still doing?
Yes, yes. This month I was two. This month, yes, this month already two events. It's a ref. The first event I did 42 fights because it was a tournament, not Austrian national tournament, and I did 42 fights that were 6 hours straight in the cage.
Obviously you want to grow yourself. You want to become a champion. You want to take the UFC thing as far as you can take it. But I know how much you love MMA. I know how much you take pride in living in Austria. How much is a focus for you in trying to help grow mixed martial arts in Austria and turning Austria into a country that's known for MMA?
That's very important for me to make MMA more popular here in Austria. And there are a couple of points or things that I'm already doing. The first thing is I started again teaching at our gym. I teach now not Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I teach MMA grappling. We don't fuck around with grab here and go like that. No, punch him in the face and you have the hand here because he has to block. Then you have the arm training. And I'm teaching this kind of stuff from my experience over 40 MMA fights, over 12 years now of fighting, and the young guys are very happy that I'm doing that, and I'm also happy to see that they are evolving. They are getting better and better because they don't fuck around with a fucking triangle choke for 1 hour. Uh, don't get me wrong, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is amazing. I like to submit people, and I'm very technical when I'm on bottom. But I spent 7 years of my life doing jiu-jitsu for 2 hours straight every day. And if you don't do it like that, then you will never have the knowledge and the level to submit people in a fight or and that's why I prefer to show them how to control the position, how to pass the guard with punches, how you use real ground and pound with not this, real ground and pound with boom. That's the one point, and the next thing is wherever I go and talk to people, I show them that there is much more behind the scenes than two idiots punching each other in the face, like many people think. And they are like, wow. Some of them were like, wow, you're so kind and you're so normal, but I thought that's drift. No, it's much more behind the scenes.
Obviously from what we've seen in the UFC so far from you is obviously your ability to take guys down, your ability to do the ground and pound, your durability, your ability in there and strike with anybody. But what I don't think all of UFC fans have seen yet is how well-rounded you are. If you look at some of your other fights, you're knocking people up with spinning wheel kicks. You're hitting flying knees. You are one of the most exciting fighters that I have ever seen. Do you take a lot of pride in having that reputation?
Not yet. Not in the UFC right now, because when we talk about the Contender Series fight, okay, don't talk about the Tom Nolan fight because we talked about it. There was zero that I showed. The next one with Michael Eswell, my opinion, I showed 20% of what I'm capable of, and I fought with my heart. Why? Because there was a lot of pressure. Even if I accepted that if that's my last fight, okay, it's good, I'm good with it. But I hoped that's not my last fight, and I hoped I'm gonna get into the UFC and gonna get where I am now. And the pressure stopped me for being free. This was like I was stiff, not completely, but stiffer than I normally am. Uh, I didn't use a lot of my techniques, spinning kicks, whatever. Okay, good. Then the first UFC fight now, February 1st. We could say, okay, why pressure? Because now you have 4 fights on your contract. No, you don't have 4 fights on your contract if you don't deliver. It could be other way. And I knew that I have to deliver. And this is why the pressure wasn't gone. And I delivered. Not completely free, but good with the high guard. It was fine. It was okay. It's the first fight that I'm proud of. The first fight, many years now. And now, I think the pressure is gone because now I am there. And I think in the next fight, if the matchup is also good and if everything goes well, like it was until now, maybe we are gonna live and see 100% of Bogdan's skills, and I think that's nice to watch.
Speaking of the next matchup, in a perfect world, we have about 10 months left in 2025 now. We want to try to maybe get 2-3 more fights here.
3 fights. 3 fights would be my dream.
Anything
Maybe
in the
in
works yet?
May, then in August, September, and December. That would be amazing.
Anything in the works yet, or are we just taking it day by day, continue to train and get ready?
Just taking it day by day, working hard, but not too hard, smart, just to keep a level. If they call me and I am 4 weeks out or 3 weeks out, I want to bring to be able to bring the weight and to perform. So that's it.
All right, so obviously you fight, you compete mixed martial arts, but you also watch mixed martial arts. You're a big fan of it. So what I want to do right now is I want to talk about a couple of the big upcoming UFC matchups, and I want you to get your prediction on who you think's going to win. So we're going to start off the big one next week. Alex Pereira, Magomed Ankalaev. Who does Bogdan got here?
I got Pereira because I don't think that Ankalaev is gonna take him down. He's not gonna be able because his takedown defense is too good for that. And even if he takes him down, he's gonna stand up, and sooner or later, Pereira is gonna finish him.
You got Leon Edwards or Sean Brady?
I think Leon Edwards is gonna win it. He's always there for a surprise. Fifth round against Usman.
How about Paddy Pimblett or Michael Chandler?
That's a difficult one. At first, I would say Chandler, but Paddy is not that. He's not to underestimate, and he didn't fought a lot of months right now, and maybe he evolved, he got better. So this one, I'm gonna keep it like open. I don't know.
Diego Lopez or Alex Volkanovski?
Whew. I mean, the experience of Volkanovski is a lot more and better than Diego's, but Diego is a machine. He's so explosive. I think Diego is gonna knock him out.
All right, last one. Jack Della or Bilal Muhammad?
Yeah, Bilal Muhammad is not very. The fan base is not that big, but he's a solid fighter, and I think he's gonna win that.
When we talk about these names, we talk about some really big names in the sport. It's kind of crazy. You're not too far away from becoming that. Me personally, I think if you can get another 2-3 wins in a row, you're in the top 15. Right now, making it to the top 15, getting a number beside your name. Is that one of the main goals for you?
Not yet. I want to fight at least 6 fights outside the top 15. I don't have to rush things. I'm 29 and I'm in the UFC with already one win. I know there are people who are 22 but I'm myself. So I have time to grow, and I think I need time to grow to get into my prime. And 6 fights, or even better, in a dream would be 10 fights in 3 years. So that means I'm gonna be nearly 32 and in my prime. Then I want to have a top 15 opponent and maybe 2 good fights there and fight for the belt.
I think what we're seeing, you made a really good point there. We're seeing really young guys getting in the UFC, getting the big promotions, coming in at like 21, 22, 23, and we're seeing them have some difficulties transitioning over. And I think one of the main reasons for it, if you look, not all, but if you look at some regional promotions, you see them protect their guys. You see their top guys fighting favorable matchups, guys that might be 5-9, 4-13. You can see they're feeding them because they want to be known to send this guy to the UFC. How do you think that has impacted mixed martial arts?
I mean, I think not that's a good thing, but you can't fight just guys with a 5-9 record. You have to have an amateur career where you have 25 amateur fights, and where you fight, for example, on the IMF with guys that are nearly on UFC level. That's crazy. The guys that win there at the IMF are, in my opinion, UFC level. And if you fight there as an amateur, you get fucking experience. And then you start as a pro, and you have to get opponents to build your record, because it's too much risiko to fight guys with 10-1, 13-2, whatever at the beginning. So you need 5-6 fights, and then when you are 5-0, 6-0, you have to fight at least 2 guys before you get into the UFC, 2 or 3 guys with a good record. And a good record, I mean like whatever, with 15-4, 18-5, records like that. And then you are ready. But yeah.
It's crazy when you look at your record, the amount of fights that you've had. 29 years old, 17 fights as a pro, and I think you have like 20 amateur contests.
24.
Is this just something? I mean, staying active like that, do you just feel natural? Does that make you feel comfortable?
Yes. It didn't feel like I fought a lot. We have to say that I fought over 10 years. 10 years for 40 fights. Those are 4 fights per year. That's not a lot. It's fine. When we talk about IMF, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, fight. Or 3 fights already in a week. And I feel fresh. I'm not injured. I feel like I'm just starting now. I'm very motivated. I'm very focused. Everything around me is perfect. My fiance is supporting me. My team is there. My mind is on the right spot. And it feels like I'm just beginning. Like when you're a beginner and you go, your first time you went into a gym and start training and you are like, no, now I'm gonna make it. I feel like that. Even if I had 40 or 41 MMA fights and 10 K1 fights and whatever, grappling and.
All right, last question for you, Bogdi. So we got 10 more months left of 2025. In a perfect world, how do we finish, how do we play out 2025 here?
A perfect world 2025 is gonna bring me 3 more bonuses, 3 more finishes, and a new contract.
Absolutely. Well, hey, Bogdan, man, I hope you get a call really soon. As always, I love talking with you, my friend. You're always one of my favorite guests, and I wish you nothing but the best. So happy that you got that fight of the night bonus, and you're really starting to see some success now. You really deserve it, my friend.
Thank you very much for your kind words. And I also have to say, I'm always very happy when we talk because you are a professional at what you are doing. You have very good questions. You are well prepared. You know everything about the guy you are interviewing, about me, and you live the sport. I feel it. You love MMA, and it's always a pleasure for me. And thank you for having me here.
Bogdan, thank you so much for the kind words. That's it for us tonight. I am Carl Prusa. He is the Unleashed. He is Bogdan Grad. Be watching UFC. He's going to be making his return hopefully sometime soon. Take it easy, fight fans.